Edith and I, Mama started using the brown hose. What you doing? What grade are you in at school? Also, yeah. School's fun, isn't it? I like school too. Hi, bright eyes. You know, there's a rabbit that comes into my back lawn, and it stretches out there on the grass. Next door, there's a dog that barks, and his dog's back, and the rabbit just stays there stretched out. It knows those dogs can't get it. It's something how they know, isn't it? Yeah. And this time when I had my German Shepherd, that's a big dog, you know, and I called her to come and she wouldn't come. So then I went to the door because I wanted to close the door. And so she still wouldn't come. She just wagged her tail like that. So I said, there's something out there. So I went out, and there in the nest were two little chocolate brown bunnies with little diamond-shaped white on them, you know, on their forehead. So I thought, I'm going to pet those because I'll never get a chance again to pet them. So I reached down and pet them like this, and they just flew out of that nest and over under the evergreen tree. But the shepherd never went after them. Never. Yeah. And to her, that was something to protect. It is something how, you know, the different ones are. Yeah. And that same dog, I took rock hunting on the south shore of Lake Superior, and this was halfway between there, we stayed at this place, and it was at nighttime, it was in October, and I said to the man, I'd like to stay at the motel overnight, and so he said, fine, but you won't have your dog up on the bed. And I said, oh, no, she doesn't get up on the furniture. No, no, no. So we came in, and I said, we'll close the store, and we'll close the bedroom door, we'll close the kitchen, and we'll do something to heat me up. In the middle of the night, I was tired, but I had felt something like this pushing me, you know. And I was half awake, and I said, who's pushing me and bothering me? Here was the shepherd had gotten up on the bed. She stretched herself out beside me. The floor was cement, it was cold. That's why she got up on the bed. So I said to myself, Mr. Man, I know I said to you that the dog doesn't get up on the bed, but I said I cannot have my dog cold. Well, then later we got up to the south shore of Lake Superior. It was kind of drizzling. And I said, so I left my car up there, and you have to go down. And so she was down there long enough, and she started to go back up to the car. And I said, call her by name. And she just turned and looked at me. And I said, come. And she stood there and looked at me. And then she turned and went up, and I knew she was going up to the car. So she's a wonderful dog. So then in a little bit I heard barking. So I said, stand still. I'm coming. So I came, and here was a man and a woman. They were out rock hounding. Here was my car, and the shepherd was in between. And the man was very upset with me. And he says, your dog's supposed to be on a leash. I said, I didn't think anybody'd be crazy enough in this kind of weather to be out rock hounding except myself. So he said to me, your dog is supposed to be on a leash, which is the law. And I said, look, sir, this dog I have brought for my own safety. He said, that's the reason why I have this dog. And I said, otherwise, if it was safe for me to come alone, I wouldn't even have brought the dogs. I said, she's not happy being here. But, so he didn't say anything more to me. But she was a wonderful Dutch shepherd. I hated to have it when her life was ended, you know. Yeah. Then she used to, the sparrows, there used to be lots of sparrows, and they would come and sit on the wires on it. This looked like little gray pearls. And then she would come out and bark at them, and they would fly around the yard, primitive yard like that, she'd fall of them and bark. Well, then that was okay. But then in the winter time came, when the other birds came to the feeding station, she'd lie there in front of the patio door and you'd hear her growling. Because those weren't sparrows, those other birds, they had no business there. So I had to teach her that that was all right for those birds to be there. She got used to that too. But oh yeah. But the one night I was going to work, I'll never forget. She was about 6 months old, and I had come into the living room to watch something on the television, and I brought my white hose with me. So the patio door was partly open, so she could get out before I left. And she grabbed the one sock and was flying out the door, and it just threw me back. So I yelled at her, and she kept on going. And usually when I tell her stay, she comes. So then I went to the door eventually, and I said to her, I need that sock, come. So she came flying into the house with it and right back to where she picked up and dropped. So it's the only white hose I had, and I thought, well, I hope there's no runs in it, because I don't have another one. There weren't any runs in it at all. Her big old teeth, she hadn't done any harm to. But she was a wonderful pet. Yeah. But pets are fun. Pets are a lot of fun. Then I had a parakeet. So I said to the friend, go and teach that bird to talk. You'll never teach that bird to talk. I said, oh yes, I'll teach that bird to talk. I put the bird down in the cage in the spare room. So I would go down there each day for about 10 minutes at a time and talk to the bird, give it food, give it water to bathe in, and all of it. And finally, about the 4th day, I would go down and I'd say, hello, how are you? Real slowly, you know, and express it so the bird would get it. And that thing would hop over on the cage to get as close to me as you could, and you keep its throat going like this. And so anyway, when I came in the room the next day, hello, how are you? Before I had time to say anything, I just about let my false teeth fall out, which I don't have. So then I went to my friend and said, come on down the hall. And I said, come into the room. But I said, don't say anything. And I said, don't laugh, don't say anything. So then I talked to the bird, and she answered me back. And my friend was just taken with it, you know, and I put my hand up because I didn't want to distract the bird. I didn't know. Well, then I brought the bird then out to the kitchen and on the work table. So I would catch her talking to that bird, teaching it how to talk. So you could tell which was her teaching the bird and which was me teaching the bird. And they were wonderful. Yeah, that's a nice, it's soft, isn't it? Yeah. Let's see. Well, is that, are they washable? Sure they must be. Made by Animal Adventures for Borders. They must be washable. However, take the ribbon off so that, you know, do it separately. Pretty ribbon. The eyes are so bright, aren't they? They almost look real. Yeah. Honey, you can come home with me. Huh? Stand your ears up. There we go. There's some wires inside there so that you can bend them whichever way you want. Yeah. These wires. Right. Right.